Miss Rachel. Thank you for being here. We're excited to chat with you. And as always, we like to start with a positive note. So, start off by telling us what is your favorite inspirational quote?
My favorite inspirational quote is never let success get to your head, never let failure get to your heart.
That
And I think that it relates to me just because it took me 13 years to win my title. So it was a big thing of never give up, never give up. And
Oh, yeah, so that one really hits home for you. Speaking of that,
yeah,
we want to hear more about that, your pageant experience and your millions of years going after it. And then also, we want to get to know you on a more personal level. So tell us more about Rachel, where you come from, what you do in your spare time, and what makes you who you are.
well, I live in Portage, Indiana, which is way up north, almost in Chicago, Illinois. And I play softball. I spend a lot of time with my family. That's basically all I do when I'm home from college. I go to IUPUI. I'm a freshman, and that's Indiana University, Purdue University, Indianapolis. So it's kind of a mouthful, but and I'm a business major, and I'm actually transferring home next semester just because family is such a big thing. My brother and sister are 5 years old, so I kind of feel like I'm missing everything in their lives. They just started kindergarten, so they're learning read and write, and so I miss them a lot.
Yes, I follow you on Instagram and I see all your precious pictures. Guys, you have to follow her because she has the most adorable siblings and you can just see the outpouring of love with your family. So
Yeah.
tell us about your pageant background.
Well, I started competing in the American Co-ed pageant when I was 5 years old, and I placed first runner-up my first year. So I actually, before the weekend started, I told my mom that I didn't want to do it and that I was too afraid and I just wanted to go home. And she told me, well, I had to do it that year because everything was paid for, and if I didn't like it, then I would never have to go back again. Well, I made so many friends, and I was only 5 years old, so I wanted to go back the next year. And then I did 2 years of the American Co-ed pageant, and then it turned into National American Miss, where the state directors created the new organization. Then after that, I did National American Miss for 11 years. And finally, the 13th year, after competing and placing in the top five for 11 years in a row, um, I I finally won my state title, and after that, I volunteered throughout my community as much as I could and prepared for nationals and went to nationals, and my hard work definitely paid off.
So what kept you going year after year after year? Do you just love pageants or you were just that determined that you were going to win that state title eventually or a combination of the two?
I think it was a little bit of both. I loved going and meeting new friends, and I loved being on stage. And casual wear modeling was always one of my favorites. So that was something that I always looked forward to. But I think after placing in the top five so many years in a row, I really, really was determined that I wasn't going to give up and I was going to prove to myself and prove to everybody else that I could do it.
Well, you did. You sure did. And then you went to nationals and took it all. So good for you. That tenacity will take you far in life. That lesson that you learned to hang in there during pageants, that having that tenacity, whatever your goal is in life, if you're a business major, if you want to start your own company, you're going to need a lot of that tenacity. So
Mm-hmm.
that's a great life skill that you've learned there. So I know that National American Miss doesn't require a platform, but you mentioned earlier that you volunteered a lot. Tell us about some of those opportunities.
Yeah, I don't actually have a platform yet. I'm kind of going around and seeing the different things that I like and seeing the different organizations. But I volunteered with the Hoosier Burn Camp, which is it puts on a summer camp for child burn victims from the age of 7 to 17. And the event that I volunteered at just raised money to send the kids to the camp because it's totally free for them. I really liked that organization just because I got to interact with burn victims, and it was really an eye-opening experience. And I think that's something that's overlooked a lot. You see a lot of platforms being child abuse or like breast cancer awareness, and burn victims isn't something that you hear a lot of. So I like that one a lot. I volunteered with Toys for Tots, Miss Amazing. I've done autism walks, breast cancer walks, suicide prevention walks. What else have I done? I've done a lot.
You've done it
all.
I
volunteered at a princess party last weekend.
A princess party? What is that?
It was the Indie Family Fest, and they had an event for little girls to just come and make a craft, have a snack, and interact with princesses. So I volunteered at that.
That's so cute. Well, keep up the great work with all of your opportunities there. Tell us about your favorite pageant memory.
I think my favorite pageant memory was this past summer in July at the state pageant, just with my sister queens. I had always been there and been on the other side and seen all of the girls, all of the sisters interact with each other and just see how much love there is between them. And I thought that we were close before that weekend, but after that weekend, we were even closer. We did everything together that weekend. We made sure that we went out to dinners together. After the princess, junior preteen, and preteen finals, we had ice cream because some of them had to leave for the next finals the next night. And just the bond between us was so strong. And that was probably my favorite of all time.
Yes, there is something so special about that sister queen bonding experience. I love that. Can you tell us about a specific door that has been open to you because of pageantry?
Modeling has definitely been opened up to me because of pageantry, and also just being able to talk to people. When you go to a lot of volunteer events, there are a lot of business people there, and networking is really big right now. So being able to open up and talk to somebody that I've never talked to in my life before about my goals in life and just about what I've done so far, I don't think that I would have been able to do that without pageants.
Good, excellent. So we're going to move into the second half of our interview here. The first half, we wanted to get to know you on a deeper level. And now we want to kind of learn from you. We know that you stuck it out for all those years. And when you finally won that state title, you went on and grabbed that national title too. And we want to know what helped you become successful. So how did you prepare for your pageant, whether it was your state one or your national one?
Okay, well, the state pageant, I really just practiced interview with my mom because that was always my lowest score. So me and my mom would sit on the couch at different ends, and she would ask me question after question each night leading up to it. After state, leading up to nationals, I had a new introduction, and I had new shoes that I wore with my gown, and I knew that the questions were going to be tougher. They were going to be on the national level, not just the state level. So I sat at my desk in school, which I probably shouldn't have. I probably should have been paying attention to what was going on in class. But I sat there and ran my introduction through my head over and over and over again all day long. I ran questions and the things that I would say if I was asked that. And then pretty much every day when I got home, I would put on my new shoes and I'd walk around the house in them just so I could break them in and be sure that I wasn't going to fall. I actually worked with Ashley Swathwood and Kayla Deal, who was Miss Indiana USA this year, before nationals, and about once a week I would work with them, either on the phone or I would go and see them. And one day we worked about 8 hours.
Oh my
just
goodness!
Throughout the day, just to finalize everything. I think it was like the week or 2 weeks before we left for nationals, so that was like the finalization of everything. We worked for 8 hours straight. We had like a little lunch break, but that was it. Just interview questions. And I said my introduction probably 100 times that day. we came up with what I was going to do for casual wear and my evening gown walk and just everything.
Wow, 8 hours straight of pageantry. Is that not your heaven or what?
It was a last day.
So, if you could name one habit that you attribute your success to, what would it be?
I think the thing that I do most is just focus on myself. And while I'm there at pageant weekend, I do focus on making friends, but I don't worry about what they do in their competition or what their introduction sounds like or what their dress looks like because they're not me. And I can't control anything that they do. I can only control myself. And I don't want to focus too much on what they do because I don't want to psych myself out. So that's something that I've always done is just focused on myself and worried about what comes out of my mouth or how I walk on stage.
That is such a great point because you can't control what other people can do. You can only control yourself.
Right.
So why spend the extra energy worrying about other people when you can't control that? I think that's an excellent point and that's a hard mindset shift to get to. So for you to be able to do that is excellent. Other than the typical be yourself, what is the best pageant advice you can offer to others?
I think the thing that I would always say to girls, especially after state and after winning state and after winning nationals, is to just have fun and make the most of the weekend. Because especially now at the level and the age that I'm at, we all know that there will only be one winner. And we're not the little princesses who, think that everyone will win. So having that in our minds, we can make the most out of the experience because you'll take that away and that will lead you further in life than walking away with a title and a crown and banner.
Excellent. Great advice. And Rachel, tell us how we can connect to you. Are you on social media? I know you're on Instagram and Twitter. Tell us how we can reach out to you and connect with you and see what you're doing and follow you for nationals.
Yes, I'm on Instagram at Rachel Major 17, and then I have a Facebook, Rachel Major, and then I also have a Facebook with my title, which is Rachel Major National American Miss Teen 2013-2014.
Excellent. And I will put all of these in our blog post here so that other people can just click on it and get straight to you. All right, Miss Rachel, thank you so much for being with us and for sharing all of your wisdom and your beautiful smile with us. And we wish you the best of luck and have so much fun at nationals.